But as for this gas tax rage baiting sort of social media thing in Australia, I for one don't buy it, because unless it's going to be a direct dividend paid to the citizen, a citizen's dividend, I'm not interested. Now I saw online, I won't say who, but people may be saying you can forget that, it's got to be like Norway or whatever, because Australia's in nearly $1 trillion worth of debt. So the Alaskan type of model wouldn't work. Well, I think that may be complete BS. And the more I hear the rage baiting in Australia from certain people on social media, certain politicians, the more I think, is this just another angle that the lefties may be using to try and have a go at resource companies, or how they would say evil, or maybe evil fossil fuel companies. You know, the evil fossil fuel. Look, well, it's become quite apparent since the military operations in the Strait of Hormuz how important diesel and how vulnerable Australia is with our shipping lanes to the north to world event. And any type of gas tax, and I've been on the whole time on this channel about this subject, is I want to hear the words citizen dividend involved in it. Not what I keep on hearing is can be used to pay down debt, can be used to help out services, perhaps a sovereign wealth fund. But again, what I think would be the way to go is based on what Alaska is doing. Now, there would be significant challenges with it because Alaska is just one state, but in Australia you'd have the state and federal. You'd have the states who want to keep their royalties or whatever money they're getting for their budgets, and you can't just tax resource companies into oblivion. And like mosquitoes. But if you want Australians to have benefit from this, the last thing, in my opinion, you want to do is give it to a bunch of maybe socialist parasites in maybe Canberra. That's the last thing you want to do. The way it may work is the first thing it would do you'd have inflows from the minerals, from iron ore, from oil and gas, gold or whatever, and it would go into a fund, a corporation like the Australian Permanent Fund Corporation. Now, it would have to be, I suppose, state-owned, unfortunately, but independently managed. I mean, you can't have a bunch of ex-politicians running it or something, or a bunch of climate change heads who are just going to invest it all in their maybe net zero fantasy or whatever, and it's never going to make any money. So it's independently run, but the trick of it is it must be put in the Constitution that it can't be raided. It can't be, there's a non-spendable portion of it. Let's just say round numbers, 200 billion. I mean, the Australian Future Fund is something like, I think it's around 300 billion, maybe I'm wrong, and a lot of that may be being used to fund public service pensions, so ex-politicians. You got a lot of ex-politicians around who you may be in the supermarket and we wouldn't even know who they were, and these people are walking around on maybe $200,000, $300,000, $400,000 a year for the rest of their lives. Doesn't matter what they do. It's incredible. I know that's the defined benefit scheme as well that may have ended in or changed in 2004 or something like that. But have a look at it. And who were the people that set up the current state that everyone's complaining about? And who are the people on these big pensions? And as I say, if there was an Australian Permanent Fund with the inflows from the oil and gas, that gets invested. And then when it reaches over a certain point, then a dividend is paid out to eligible Australians. Who's an eligible Australian? The criteria must be pretty strict and non-negotiable. It is what it is. Now this dividend, if it happened like that, it wouldn't be, in my opinion, as long as the resource prices stayed high, it wouldn't be some small amount. You're probably looking at thousands of dollars paid to Australians. And no, the government shouldn't be able to tax it or anything. It's just a cheque that comes, example, 2 months after the end of the financial year or something each year or something like that, and it comes, and Australians would actually it would be great because that's getting benefit. And it gets worse because the governments now, these geniuses in Canberra, have us in something like nearly $1 trillion of debt. And the interest on that alone is going to be close to 30 billion soon and a lot higher. I mean, I just come down to Vientiane on the LCR, on the Laos-China Railway Network, HSR, high-speed rail network. Fantastic. And the engineering to build that, if you ever go on it, it's fascinating. The amount of tunnels, bridges, the retaining walls, they got heavy rains, mudslides all up the big mountains, all through it. Completed, done in around 5 years, $6 billion. And why hasn't Australia got something like that from something amazing like Sydney to Perth, high-speed rail? I mean, the Nullarbor. Oh, yeah, sure. When it does flood, when there is heavy rains, when heavy rains appear, it can be a difficult terrain. But it's no. I can tell you, it's no northern Laos. But in Australia, a 400-kilometre high-speed rail line would probably, as I said, Laos and China finished it in 5 years, or around 5 years, and $6 billion. In Australia, it would probably be blow out to 15 years and $25 billion.